Hello and welcome to the Wicker Library. My name is Aaliyah, so happy to have you here with us today. I am going to be doing the end of year book tag. I know it's not the end of the year, but this tag is sort of looking towards the end of the year and what books you want to read within the rest of this year, reading plans, things like that. And I thought it would be very nice to do kind of a laid back, chill video, just talking all about books and books I'm excited about, books I'm currently reading, and yeah, let's just get into it. Question number 1 is there or are there any books that you want to finish before the end of the year that you are in the middle of or currently reading? And I have been reading Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer for months now. I picked this up in the summer. I forget which month, but I've been reading it very slowly, which I've been loving. I have been enjoying reading this book so much. I think it's going to be one that sticks with me just forever. And the way I've been reading it, I've been picking up an essay at a time, just when it calls to me. I haven't been reading this in one go or a bunch at once. I like to pick up an essay here and there, especially since a lot of the essays, I will say, are rather repetitive. It's nicer not to read them in one go, but rather when I feel the need to be comforted by this writing style, this book in general. I've just been really loving. And if you don't know, Braiding Sweetgrass is a collection of essays on Indigenous wisdom and ecology and really love for the land, for people, for every living and non-living thing, and it just really reframes how you think and how you view the world. And I know it's a very hyped book and it's totally deserving of the hype. I've already been quoting this book in classes. I bet I sound so pretentious, but I just can't stop talking about this book with my roommate, with my friends, with my professors. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this, but I am technically still like a good chunk away from the ending, but I do want to finish it before the end of the year, and I think I will. I think there's a chance for that. But I'm also currently reading The Cancer Journals by Audre Lorde. I have only read the foreword of this and a couple pages of the main essay. It's only 69 pages, so it is a collection of diary entries and essays. It's like part memoir, part commentary on Audre Lorde's battle with cancer, and it's beautiful writing. Obviously, it's Audre Lorde, of course, what do you expect? And I've already tabbed it up quite a bit, considering I've read 5 pages of it, but I'm reading this for my care work class, and I'm really excited to finish it. I will definitely be finishing it by the end of the year. I'll be finishing it within the next week, but yeah, that's also what I'm reading. I am also in the middle of an arc, which is Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Faridah Àbíké-Íyímídé, and I've been really enjoying this. I haven't been enjoying it as much as Ace of Spades, which is the book that this author is most known for. It's her debut book, so it's the only book she's had out. But I was so excited that I was approved for this arc. It is this dark academia sort of book. It's this thriller story about a girl gone missing, and it takes place in this weird, pretentious boarding school that's very wealthy, and yeah, the vibes are excellent. I will say I'm already 20% of the way through this. I am enjoying parts of it. I will probably have a proper review once I finished it. I do wish it was an adult book. I think I find that I'm just not enjoying as many YA books recently or lately. It's just, I wish it was adult because I wish the maturity of some of the characters was a little higher, but it's fine. It's going to be good. I am enjoying it so far, and I'll be finishing that before the end of the year for sure. The next question we have is there an autumnal book that you want to read that will transition you into the beginning of next year? So reading towards the end of the year, but also maybe an autumnal, almost wintry read just to transition you between the seasons. And I have the perfect book for this. I just got my pre-order in, and that is Lore of the Wilds by Annalie Sabrana. And this is the Satis Fiction edition for that book box, and it is absolutely stunning. I love these edges. There's little mushrooms, and the end papers are so pretty. I love this book so much, and I haven't even read it, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's about an enchanted library. There's fairies, there's adventure, and it's really short as well. I don't know if it's going to be a series, but even if it's not going to be a series, I love a good shorter end book that just does everything it needs to do. And this is the epitome of autumnal, in my opinion. And yeah, I just want to read it near the end of this year and maybe over my winter break. It feels almost Christmassy, but not quite. Like the end of fall where things are getting very chilly and cold, but it's still technically autumn. So yeah, that's definitely my answer for that question. The next question is there an anticipated release you're still waiting on for the end of the year? Now, I had trouble thinking about this because honestly, all of my really anticipated releases come out in 2024. But the 5th volume to Heartstopper does come out. The printed edition comes out in December, and I'm really, really excited to read that bind up. I've technically read the comics that it will cover, like online, but I'm just excited to reread it in its physical form all at once, and it'll give me an excuse to reread my favorite comic series from the start again, like I always do every time a new edition, new bind-up comes. And yeah, I am going to be getting the UK edition from my friend who's abroad in Europe, currently in England. So she'll be bringing me a copy that will match all of my other editions. So I'm very excited about it, and I will be reading it the second it is in my hands. Question 4 is, what are 3 books you want to try and read before the end of the year? Now, besides all of my fall TBR, which I posted a video about and still haven't really read all of those books, I really want to. I'm still planning to, but alongside that, I have 3 specific books, one of which is on my fall TBR, that I want to get to, and they're all part of a video idea I have, which I won't spoil, but I'm pretty sure you can guess. I've talked about it before. The first book is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. It's a book about Shakespeare's child who dies from the plague, and it's very sad historical fiction. Apparently it's beautifully written. I just want to read it. Also, it feels very wintry, so very end of year vibes. The next book I have is Self-Made Boys by Anna Marie McLemore, one of my favorite authors of all time. I've read several of their books and loved basically every single one. This book is a Great Gatsby retelling. It's queer. That's all I need to know. That's all you should need to know as well. The final and the third book I want to read for that video and before the end of the year is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This one is about fairies. It's about curses, and it's rather autumnal as well, so this is on my fall TBR, but I talk more about it there. I just think it's going to be a happy, fun time, and that's all I need, especially for the end of the year. Question number 5 is a very fun one, and that is there any book that you think you'll read before the end of the year that could still become a favorite of the year? Now, I like to think that all of the books I pick up have the capacity to become favorites. I usually pick out books that I really think I'm going to like, and I know my taste rather well, but I do have to say, the book that's in my fall TBR that I really, really want to push myself to get to, again, the curse of being a mood reader is I don't know when I'll read these things, but that is The Late Americans by Brandon Taylor. I've read Brandon Taylor's other 2 books, and they're just so good. Brandon Taylor's writing and specifically his characterization is just so phenomenal. And this book follows several college age students just going about life, and that's my shit. I know that sounds so plain and so boring. I'm not really going into the synopsis. You can read it for yourself if you want to know more. But that's all I needed because I just trust this author so much. And Filthy Animals, I read earlier this year, and it's probably going to be in my favorites list. Like, I don't see it not being. And if this one has the capacity to beat all of the others out, I wouldn't be surprised. So we have come to the final question, the 6th question, and that is, have you made any end of year or reading plans for the next year? And the answer is technically yes. I'm hoping to do a Percy Jackson and the Olympians reread at the beginning of next year, probably because the TV series will start to come out, and I'm so excited for that TV show. You have no idea. Like, I know everyone is talking about it and everyone's excited, but the casting looks phenomenal. The trailer, like the second proper trailer, just came out the other day, and it looks so good. The effects are so good. The music looks so good. Again, the casting, it's brilliant. The writing looks perfect. The scenes are right out of the book, and I really want to reread that original series, which I have read before when I was rather young. I haven't read the Trials of Apollo yet. I did a whole reading vlog about reading the Heroes of Olympus series for the first time, but I want to go back and reread the original series so badly because those were my childhood. I was obsessed with those books, and I don't remember enough of it, especially if I want to be going into this like TV show. I want to do a reread before, but it comes out rather soon, so I kind of gotta get cracking on that. I don't know if I'll wait to watch the show before. I don't know. We'll see about that, but those are really the only plans I have for the oncoming year because it will probably take me into the next year to read all of the books. But yeah, you can definitely look forward to that video. Those are all of the tag questions. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, tell me your thoughts, your answers to these questions, anything like that, and I will see you in the next video.